Hi Anshul, welcome to GHRC Know Your Member Talk Show. Guys, today we have Dr. Anshul Gupta, a researcher consultant specializing in workplace spirituality. Anshul, we are thrilled to have you here. Once again, welcome.
Thank you, Shriti. It's a pleasure. And GHRC has been an amazing platform. The selflessness with which you're promoting the budding professionals also has is amazing. So yeah,
Yes.
thank you.
Okay. To start, could you share a brief overview of your professional journey? What were some key milestones and what drives your passion for HR?
So I am very passionate about human resources. So that is what I have been studying since so many years, practicing since so many years, and my entire gamut of certifications, education, everything, and all work profile revolves only around human resources. So very early, I did understand that. Understanding people and managing people at work is something that really interests me. So,
Yeah.
to start off, right after my 12th,
Hmm?
instead of going into other professions, I was very clear human resources is where I have to lead my career into. So I joined BMS, which is Bachelor of Management Services, which is also specializing in human resources. Which was unique in Mumbai University at that time. So it started from there, then my MBA, and then my that also specializing in HR, and then diploma in labor laws and labor welfare, then Six Sigma Green Belt, and then coming into on the job learning in form of internships, etc., all through the way, and then the first job, and then the second and the third, and then in the very renowned companies like Cadbury, ITC, SL, etc. And then I found a gap in the way in which we are seeing people, because I had already done a lot of elaborate study of how what things are and how things should be. And after some amount of experience, I found that there is still scope in the way in which we see people at work, understanding better. There is still scope of doing it better. So that's how I came into research. Uh,
Hmm.
we can speak more about workplace spirituality in your further questions. How did I stumble upon it and how did I reach there? So that has been my entire journey up till now. And then came the corporatespirituality.com, which we will speak further on. So, yes.
Yes. So your research focus on workplace spirituality, right? How do you define it and how can organization integrate it to improve well-being and productivity?
So, for common people to understand, because workplace spirituality is a new concept in the mainstream management. In research, it has been around since 20-25 years. In India, also, there are around 20-25 eminent researchers. Around there are 6-7 of them who are in really good positions, who, like me, have spent their lives doing research on workplace spirituality. But for their own they also have to do other work, etc. They could not focus on getting it into the mainstream management. So we have two books, which is the Spiritual Indian Corporate and the Corporate Spirituality. Both are available on Amazon and prominent bookstores.
Okay.
These two books talk about the concept of workplace spirituality and its implementation. Our first book, The Spiritual Indian Corporate, it spoke about the concept, the why part of it, the need of it. The second book, that is the Corporate Spirituality Models, Measurements, Challenges, Ethics, and Answers, which is this one is the recent book. So this book
Okay.
speaks about um, how we can implement it in the organization. What model should we follow? There are scales to measure it. In Indian context, we have our own scale also. We have now automated it also. So wherein, if we have a company coming to us, we can actually give them their corporate spirituality score. So, we also have something known as certifications on it, executive coaching. We have workshops surrounding it. We also have a program which certifies a company as a corporate spiritual company. So that is there. So if you ask me about the concept, it has nothing to do with yoga or meditation or traditional form of spirituality. So it has come from, it takes principles from spirituality, but it doesn't talks about spirituality at practicing the traditional spirituality or any kind of religion at work. It is a construct, a measurable construct in the research domain based on four subdimensions. That is finding meaning in life, so having interconnectedness at work, your values and organization values matching, having compassion at work. So these are fully measurable constructs, and it's an interaction of individual and organizational spirituality. And it's an OD intervention basically. So when we approach a company and the company says, okay, certify us as a workplace spiritual or corporate spiritual company, then we understand with the leadership team how do they want to go about it, what is their idea. We modify our scale according to their needs. And yeah, we have individual certifications also. Say if you want to certify yourself as a budding HR professional, as a corporate spiritual professional, we have certifications for you also, which is at a very nominal rate for 2 hours, 6 hours, or 8 hours, depending on the time that you have. So yeah, that's what it is. And I'll not take up on your further questions. I'm sure you will have more questions and we will talk more.
Yes. So, with your experience in both corporate and research, how do you ensure that research driven HR insights are effectively applied in real business environment?
So, if we see research and real-time business environment, more or less work in tandem with each other. So the research that we do has to be relevant. Only then we are able to collect data. Only then the
Exactly.
face validity. So what happens is when we get into research, we have to identify a problem. We have to do the face validity of the problem first. So the problem that we had identified was that people are coming to work with the checklist mentality. There are falling business empires. People are in permanent whitewater. So there was a certain premises which we had. Which we were able to see, but we could not go ahead with the research unless there is a face validity, for which you go to industry experts and get it validated that this is what we see as a problem in research. Do you acknowledge it? So or they would want to go modify it. So you do that first, and then you start finding out who can be the people who are getting affected by this. And even if you are collecting data, again you have to get it verified from the real time practitioners. So research, if so, so all kinds of things happen. If you are actually doing research, so at Christ, I can speak about my institute from where I did, Christ University. They ensure that you actually do the research. There is no other way around. So the process that is followed is so rigid, and it is not that you and your guide can work in tandem and finish it off. It doesn't works that way. So every 3 months, every quarter, there is a review wherein the
Okay.
entire department, and rather the invite is sent to the entire college. So at that times wherein there are 20-25 experts sitting in front of you and asking you questions on your progress. And really, they really ask you the why, what, how. So with so much rigor, the connect between research and industry has to happen. Unless that happens and they see that connect, then the research is not relevant if that connect doesn't has. So, that is ensured, at least at Christ. And yeah, so that's where you solve a real time problem. So that's what our research also did, finding a real time problem and finding a solution to it. Yeah.
Yes. So, how have HR strategies evolved and what are the key trends that are shaping the future of work in India?
To see the HR trends, the HR domain per se. So in India, as we all know, it was mostly got by Dr. T.V. Rao, the father of HRD in India, along with a few other colleagues like Uday Parekh, sir, etc. So globally also, it started as personal management. Then it evolved to be HRM, which is human resource management. From personal management, the people being considered as a resource. And then HRD, that is, you need to develop the person. Since 25 years in research, it has been spiritual HRM, wherein there is a spirit within the employees that needs to get engaged. Now, if you see the evolution of understanding of people at work, it started with the industrial era of extension of machines. And then came that employees are thinking beings, wherein came the quality revolution. And then came Elton Mayo's studies, which acknowledged that there are emotions within people at work. Now, all these seem to be common sense, but to practice at work, there is a proof required because
Yes.
profitability is necessary. So all these studies happen to give proofs that you take care of people in a certain ways so that you benefit better, because companies and businesses look for their benefits first, their profitability first, because that is why they exist. And since 20 years, there's an acknowledgement that beyond emotional emotions also there's a spirit within the individual which is unique, that needs to be engaged. That is spiritual HR. So it is not that you go to a different plane to understand a person at work. No, absolutely not. It is understanding the holistic person, the uniqueness of the person, especially in the age of AI. What is unique in the people? What is unique is the spirit. And that gives companies competitive advantage. And that is how our study and our work is very relevant to the changing times, because now we need a different perspective to understand people at. So yeah.
Yes. So you specialized in competency mapping and career planning, right? So what skills should HR professionals focus on to stay relevant in today's job market?
So so in one of the companies, I had that role of competency mapping and career planning, which we successfully did. In the changing times, the competency that is required is to be relevant. It is nearly impossible that you finish your degree and you do a certain, you are at job, and if you're working in a certain organization, you abide by only to what is the need of that organization. Very soon you and the organization both become obsolete. So being relevant is the competency that is required today. If you have to plan your career, you have to see the changing trends of the market. If we see human resources, like I said, of this trend of understanding people at work. So if HR professionals today, they need to have a relevance in these changing times of generative AI, automation. There are bots in companies now doing the routine work of HR professions. So does that means that we become obsolete or we become irrelevant? No. We need to be more aligned to the current needs expected out of us. So what, as HRs, what is now expected out of us? We so there are bots doing our routine work. So we have IBM, we have a lot of companies using these. So what makes us relevant is how better we can contribute in nurturing the person at work, in engaging the person at work. That becomes our major contribution. How the reports that we are generating, how can we see the insight in it with a fresh perspective? And our work is one of those ways. So, corporate spirituality is one of those ways to become relevant in the changing times. So, yes.
So HR leaders play a huge role in shaping workplace culture, right? So what are the strategies that they can use create an environmental trust, growth and engagement?
The HR professionals are the key change makers.
Hmm.
So, if you see everywhere, the discussions today is future of work, future of work, future of
Yes.
work. So, the future of work obviously is automation, obviously is being lean, is obviously being cost saving, but the how part of it cannot be decided without proper strategic human intervention. And who are the people who are specializing in this? It is we, the HR professionals. We need to gear up with the changing times. So we are the real people who connect the technology to the people, not just in terms of training, in terms of ensuring that people remain relevant, organizations remain relevant, and there is sustained competitive advantage using human resources. So the everywhere is a talk of being lean, lean, lean. There, so being lean doesn't just means retrenchment. It doesn't means that two people doing one person doing two people's job. It doesn't means that. It means that the resources that we have at work in the form of people walking in and walking out. So even if we don't call them resources, we call them capital, we call them humans at work, we call them spirit at work. How best are we able to engage them? So the model that we have in place, and the scales that we have in place, we are able to measure it. So here we are not saying that we are the only option and the only thing to remain relevant in the changing times. But yes, corporate spirituality is one of the ways in which HR professionals can play a really key and strategic role in the changing times to ensure that using people at work, the organization is able to have a sustained competitive advantage for the business benefit and for the community at large.
Okay. Well, I'm done with my questions. Is there anything else you would like to share that I might have missed?
All I would want to say is
Hmm.
research says that spirituality at workplace is the way ahead. And I would request organizations to give it a try. So right now we are the only ones, the only service providers doing that. In future, there might be many more. But at least from the study that we have had up till now, and the concurrent changes that we are seeing, this is a very relevant thing. We would request them to take it up through us, or maybe read the book and take it up themselves, or maybe contact other people. But yes, this is the way ahead, is what the research says. So, yeah, if you would want to contact us, the spiritual Indian corporate @gmail.com is the mail ID. We have our
Okay.
website, thecorporatespirituality.com. And yeah, so beneath there will be my number also. You can contact. We have a YouTube channel. We have presence all over social media, and on our website you can book a pre-call, a 15 minutes call, free call, so that you can understand this better. And yeah, let's take it ahead from there.
Yeah, okay. Thank you for sharing wonderful insights.
Thank you, Srinidhi. Thank you,
Yeah,
GHRC.